I can make you superhuman. I wish that I could make you strong enough to take you with me. Superhuman journey. We could travel my way, take a supernatural highway. All the supernatural people we found would be the kind of people that you would like to hang around.
I deserve, you know, I deserve to talk to you like a realistic person.
Absolutely.
Hey?
That's why we're doing this.
I'm a realistic person.
During the daytime, it's nice. There's lots of people around, lots of activity. It's definitely a hot spot. If you're just going out, going for a drink, going to do shopping, everybody comes around this part of town. Definitely really busy during the weekdays. Nighttime, it can be all right, but it depends.
At night, I don't like to walk around downtown at all, ever, because I think that there's just, I don't feel safe down there, so.
Well, even, 20th Street used to be Skid Row, but it's quiet now because they closed all the bars on 20th Street. 20th Street's quiet now too.
I feel very safe, even during the night. Like if I'm coming home from Lydia's, I would feel totally okay with walking to my car by myself.
I particularly feel safe. I've been on the street in the early morning, late at night, all hours of the day, and I feel fine.
I'm usually carrying a weapon of sorts, just for my own personal, well-being.
People we're on the bus mall downtown, they have security, they have classical music trying to, people don't like that, so they stay away from that type of area, but there's been stabbings and all that around the downtown area, but I don't go near the downtown area or the exhibition area. The exhibition area is getting bad too.
Well, by McDonald's, there has been gangs and stuff hanging out outside there and stuff, and there's a bar there, and there's a lot of, and I don't want to get harassed.
Crack down on it. I think they should have, I think it should be illegal to be in a gang, so even if you look like you're affiliated with a gang, I think it should be illegal. And there should be severe consequences for that because they're affecting our children.
Down here, right by McDonald's, unfortunately, and there's a lot of people hanging out there, they're selling their drugs, whatever. With gangs? Where do I start? No, we have quite a bit, and we've had meetings, neighborhood meetings and stuff, and there's not much we can do because it just keeps going on, it just increases. A person doesn't go outside and go for their walks anymore. Like I used to go walking in the evening. I won't do that anymore because I don't want to get robbed, or I've heard of people getting their fingers cut and stuff, and if they don't have money, just to get a ring off their finger.
Go around, I like this part of the city, I like where I live, I like where I go and stuff. It's fine, but it's just the gangs that they should be controlled more by the police.
The panhandling, like you know, I hate to say no to people, and that's a lot of people to not say no. There's a little too much sometimes.
You know, like the moo-moo lady downtown, or the woman who wears the big outfits and stuff. Like, it's scary. She yells at you and it scares people. But she's mentally challenged.
Sometimes I feel a little sorry for them, but for the most part, it's get a job, okay? Everybody else has a job. I know that you may have circumstances, but still, make a decision and move on with your life.
As tourists, you know, it's a little bit off-putting to see. Well, you don't know what to expect, really.
No, I don't really notice anymore. Like, I kind of just, because you see them so much, you don't register it really anymore.
You know, it's not my problem they're poor. I'm poor too. I'm just better off because I'm not an alcoholic.
What do I think of panhandlers in general? Well, I mean, it's a complicated question, and I'm not, like, I don't know. I think that, like, I'm not afraid of them.
No, it doesn't really bother me at all. They're just there. I just walk past them.
I think that there's parts of downtown that probably should be cleaned up a little bit. Like, I don't want to walk downtown at night ever. And with the panhandling, no one really likes to be confronted with that sort of thing. But I mean, it's in every city, and it's not that big of a problem here, I don't think. Maybe it's just where it is that's the problem.
I had one ask me for money one time, this lady, and I said no, and then she punched me.
I see a lot of it in front of Midtown Mall. I give to those who like play music or busk or something like that, but not just sit there and beg for money, especially if they look like they can work. Because I come from a hard upbringing, but I've made it, you know. So I think that if they change their lifestyles, they can make it too.
I really don't see it as like a huge issue. Certainly not on Broadway. I mean, you see it a lot more often at Midtown Plaza. If you're walking down there, like, you're much more likely, I think, to see panhandlers there.
I guess you see them quite often. Where we originally came from, there's a lot of that, so kind of almost feel immune to seeing it, but because you kind of just don't see it anymore. But I do notice it more downtown than anywhere else in the city.
I would say, like, at downtown area, there will be some people kind of like, they're kind of creepy sometimes. It's kind of like they're on drugs and stuff.
Yeah, I do. I think for busking, you're actually paying for a service, you know, paying for that smile. If a busker's good, then yeah, they deserve to be paid for their talent. And that's like kind of a grassroots place for people to, you know, make some money with their music.
I just enjoy doing it. Like, it's say it's an addiction or anything like that. It's just enjoyable being out and getting kind of a reaction to the music I'm playing and practicing in front of people.
Well, you'll get people playing guitars or harmonicas, different things like that, and I personally really like it. I think it adds to the character of the neighborhood, and you'll find it in bigger centers, and it almost like creates a culture.
Well, I think that it's an issue anywhere that it occurs because it really it represents a bigger social problem. I'm not personally offended by it, but nor do I give any money to panhandlers. I believe that there's a better way of doing that. I don't think that just eradicating panhandling solves any issues at all.
I don't feel good about them, and I don't feel good about myself for just walking by them. But I'm not like, you know, I don't think that they should get off the street and do it themselves, because I think we're just all part of it. We're all responsible.
One of the biggest issues down here on 20th, I think it's the I don't know, probably the lack of access to programs that'll help some of these people. There doesn't seem to be enough help for these people to help them move on. And I think that if maybe we put a couple of things in place down here to help these people make some better decisions with their life, it might help.
If the government really loved us, build a home for the homeless where they can eat besides Friendship Inn and besides being barred out, being drunk and all smelling like pee and everything.
What I've seen for the longest time, these people, they're homeless. Got no place to go. And I've seen lots of it here in Saskatoon. Once in a while, I'll invite them to my place to come sleep over, so you sleeping outside in the rain. Now, if I have a little bit of money, if I can afford it, then I'll help them out.
Why don't they have a hostel in this town? That's the only thing that bugs me. You know, that really does. Like, great. Okay, they got $120,000 for a condominium. Who can afford that? Eh? Like, Jesus, ever love it. Everybody says, oh, I'm doing this, I'm doing that. They don't do nothing for people.
I don't think anybody can help them. I think they need to help themselves. And there is help out there. I belong to a neighborhood support group called Oasis. And mostly it's women, single parents like myself, and that come together and want to have a better life, and so it provides a lot of information where you can go to school, get your ID, grief counseling, a lot of things like that. They talk about residential school and the 60 Scoop and like just different things that would empower us to change our lives.
You know, last year I had a kid, well, not a kid, but a guy in his early 20s come down from North Battleford, and he was super hungry, right? He was legit, you know, you could tell he was down and out, and, you know, so I gave him a hot dog. You know, and he came back 2 weeks later, you know, he was clean, he was dressed, he found himself a job, and he wanted to repay me for the hot dog. You know, I said, don't worry about it, you know, it's fine, you're down and out, you know, just keep on moving up, right? And now he comes quite regularly to buy hot dogs because I gave him that one, you know?
The more we help these people, the less we have to help them in the future. So if we help them now and help some of these younger people get out of the rut of welfare and family abuse and like that, their future's automatically going to look brighter. Don't you agree?
What I worry about is mostly for my children. And I love my kids. And I'm an alcohol abuser myself. And I try to get away from it, and I cry day and night, pray for my kids. Lord Jesus, help me. There's tears that fall down my face when I walk around. When is my next meal? Where's my next bed gonna be?